right, so we didn't end up seeing the Anivia ban. Definitely a bit of a shock there. That was certainly what we were expecting. I'm wondering if Buzzwole ended up banning the Nami Fizz.
Yeah, I mean, may think that the Draven Scion is just beefy enough to get through this Anivia. We do see one of those flash freezes in hand right now for Buzz, a key card that I mentioned before, a Rekindler in hand, as well as an Entreat, and one Sentry, Vile Feast, and Withering. So a lot of heal, little bit of units. Have the Anivia Tutor as well, but will Ian be able to get some early damage in and then close it out with Scion? That's going to be the name of the game. Little bit of a fun behind-the-scenes fact for you guys in the player chat. Ian was saying, not sure if we have to play out the finals with these matchups. So just a little bit of a glimpse into where the mental is at for Ian. Hopefully it isn't as doomed as he feels it is.
That's pretty rough.
That's really sad to hear, but Ian's underestimating his own play. Outplay always leaves a lot of options on the table here. So full mana available for Buzz's side. No avalanches, no ravines. I mean, it wouldn't do a whole lot into this board. Still sitting at a pretty 20, and Vile Feast going to come in, stop any potential damage this turn.
2 mana, stop 7 damage, heal 1, seems good.
Seems good, yeah. I use Vile Feast for that so much, like especially against like Draven Ezreal type decks. You just like ping something and then block. You're like, wow, I saved so much health here. And I set things up for Avalanche. This is fantastic. Ooh, Scion though.
It's kind of the same reason to use like Concussive Palm pre-combat too, right? To generate that blocker, yeah. Well, Vengeance being committed here potentially. I kind of like it. I mean...
Well, it's not going anywhere else.
You're not going to Vengeance the Scion, so that's got to be the scariest unit to Vengeance.
Okay, decides to go for Avalanche instead. The like lost soul value is a thing. We have a lot of discard outlets and no discarders currently on Ian's side. Bit awkward.
That is an issue I've run into in this deck. Is it's like so heavily reliant on discard. I think it might even be more reliant on discard than Draven Jinx was. I know you need it to level Jinx, but you often have a lot of units you don't actually need to discard to play or get value out of. So,
sick burn spell.
Yeah, 20 HP on turn 6 is not how you wanted this matchup to go from Ian's side.
Certainly rough. And then like eventually there's just going to be an Anivia played, and things that weren't in Avalanche range all of a sudden are going to be in Avalanche range. I can't see Buzz's hand. Do we have a way to profitably deal with Scion? Do we have a flash freeze?
Yeah, there is one. Double Vengeance as well. Second Anivia being picked up.
I was going to say, that's the second Anivia, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably the best way to deal with Scion, is just harsh winds the entire attack.
Yeah, I mean, flash if you need to on that single unit, but with other overwhelm units on the board, it's going to be quite nice. We have a Rekindler available as well. Wow, that is a strong Scion at 34 out of 35. And not able to level with any discard in hand. I think we've gone like 8
It's discard or play, right?
Yeah.
Discard or play. So don't worry, you can just play a Lost Soul here. Urchin, a pretty good pickup. Not like fantastic, but it discards something, and that's good.
Survival skills looking like an absolute brick right now.
Yeah, not fantastic. You can keep it alive, but it's still going to be frozen. This card, Reborn Grenadier, is really good, by the way. I'm sure you guys also are aware of that, but huge fan of this card.
Yep. What I love about Scion is that he's able to level every single game.
Yeah, like
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, very consistent champion.
Have a Harrowing picked up as well on Buzz's side, but nothing has died just yet. This is looking to be a pretty wide swing here. Oh, opting to not go for the Harsh Wind. Oh no, we'll see. Thinking about the Harrowing this turn. Opts to pass it on back.
I think that might have been a Ruination Bluff.
I think it was a Ruination Bluff, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that makes more sense.
force out the survival skills.
Wow.
Or an avalanche or something, right? But it was like a slow speed bluff.
I wonder if you could read it as a bluff. Kind of an obvious bluff.
You
like
never know.
Ian clearly thinking about it now, right? With the survival skills.
Yeah. Especially against players like you know, Buzzwole or Buzzhole, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but he, you know, doesn't necessarily have a huge name in the competitive scene. So you might not expect him to be bluffing as often as somebody like Ian, for example. Yeah. So I think there's like a little bit of a mind game going on there as well.
Still a big attack here. Like even post harsh winds, right?
Yeah, we see a whale coming in. Even after the whale, though, going down to 11 HP is not bad. And then we've got, yes, we have a flash. Yes, we have double vengeance, but Ian should be knowing right now that that was, in fact, a bluff. No ruination currently in the hand. Anivia picked up again, going to be harsh winds, but no healing right now. So damage that comes down from Ian's side is going to stick. And this is a ballsy pass from Buzz.
I like
typical Anivia things. Good old 9-mana open pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pass. Lovely.
Oh, that's not the Rekindler that you want to see.
Wait, this has kind of changed a little bit. I mean, we have a lot of freeze. We could play triple freeze next turn into the swing, but all of a sudden, all those resources that Ian was not able to use are starting to come into play.
And Rekindler hitting the board means you literally have to worry about nothing. You just play whatever you want.
You're just asking yourself, how do I put the most amount of pressure on?
Yeah. You don't play the 3-1, but...
Are we a little surprised that we didn't see a swing with the Anivia before the Rekindler was dropped?
Yeah. I mean, if you're planning to play Rekindler, you just swing every time there, just to see, right? Maybe they block. And
then also it makes things a little sketchier for Ian, like he still has to play around stuff. This Rekindler really gives the open pass.
It makes your draws better. Like all of a sudden Vile Feast, Withering Wail are like a lot better. So yeah, very surprised to see it. You're also like tipping your hand. Like we said, Ian just gets to develop his board like completely without fear. Once you play that like naked Rekindler. Yeah, not a fan of that play. I am a fan of this play.
Oh,
open
survival skills. Love this one.
Yeah, we do have the backup survival in hand. Probably never going to need to use 2.
Yeah.
Like in the same turn. So yeah. We have a whale picked up. That is a good bit of healing here, but not going to be able to clean anything up.
Man, that would have been really good. He'd attack with the Anivia, right? Kind of Buzz probably kicking himself a bit there.
Yep.
All right. I like it. Just might as well put as much pressure as we can here. We don't have much to worry about.
There's only so much you can, like, you're not worried about any of the slow speed removal spells because they don't do anything.
Yeah, if there was a Ruination, this would be the most god-tier bluff of all time.
Well, you can't cast it.
Ruination?
Yeah. I mean, you can. You kill a 4/2. That's pretty sick, I guess.
Oh, does it not kill these? No. I think it does.
Oh, it does, right?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
you're right.
You can't drop below, but you could still kill the units, so...
Yeah.
I
think Ian just saying I'm not beating Ruination, basically.
Defensive Arrowing, and then you have Flash still accessible for Scion. There is Overwhelm, and there is Fearsome.
With 2 challenge. Okay, so you do get to block the Fearsome. You're taking 4 on Overwhelm. Ugh.
Take 4.
It's not over.
Do we know if... I don't think there's any main deck decimates in Draven Scion.
No, I think there's 3 Get Exciteds and 2 Fervors.
Okay.
Yeah, in this particular version. This actually ended up being pretty okay for Buzz.
Second whale picked up. That is 6 healing available.
And we're on 10. Anivia's flipped.
Another Rekindler could be played, clean up the board here. I mean, could kill a Draven too if you play another Anivia or another Rekindler.
Is Scion block ever worth it here? Probably not.
I was
right?
thinking about that.
Yeah.
I have
Definitely
lost
consideration.
multiple times to get excited to someone get exciting their own Scion.
Yeah.
Like,
Scion block seems cheeky.
yeah. Is it too cute?
Yeah. If you survival skills your ephemeral Scion, does it last for the next round? Like, will you get to attack with it again on the following round?
No, I think it's the same thing as Ruination where it like dies.
Oh, okay.
Right. That throws me off every time. I always forget that because like there isn't an effect like that in Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly like if something's like indestructible, it just can't be killed. You can get around it with other things like banishing or whatever, but yeah. I'm convinced they made that card specifically to trip me up. A whale here instead of a Rekindler.
Well, the Anivia still hasn't died yet, right? He still doesn't have a dead
That's
Anivia.
so true, huh? Yeah, that's
It's
so
just-
true.
Yeah.
Man, I really wish we'd attacked with Anivia that one turn. It probably wouldn't have gotten blocked, but it would have put us in a much better spot. Especially when like you cast that survival skills and you just reply with whale and kill like half the board.
Buzz,
Been
you're
really
getting
nice.
a free Majin coaching session there, so take that one to heart. If you go back through the VOD review, was a little bit of a key turn. We do see an avalanche being picked up there by Buzz, so
That's pretty good. I mean, I say these things, right? I'm like, oh, I would have done this, I would have done this, but like the reality is like when you're playing the tournament, you clearly have an idea of like what you're playing around, and I just might not know what it is, right?
Yeah.
There might be a sequence of plays that Buzz is playing around, and I just don't know it.
For sure.
So I always try to like kind of pad whatever I'm saying, like, oh, I'm not really sure why we did this instead of like this is bad, because I've had that happen to me where I'm like, no, I'm just playing around this. It's to stop this, right? And like they just might not see it. Twitch chat's like, oh, washed player. Like
yeah, I'm a big fan of casters, being nice to the players, gentle. You could still call out misplays, of course, but no need to be mean about it, unless they're your friends, of course. Then just eviscerate those fools. How could they make that play? So disappointing. Now we see Scion coming back with the Reborn, and there is a harsh winds in the hand of Buzz, so very well played to be able to get that rally, trigger it this turn, on a turn that he was already attacking. I think that was No, he had already swung this turn. Ian, or no?
No.
Okay, so yeah, so he's not getting use of that rally either.
That is correct. Now Ian gets to develop, because you're pretty much sitting there like, okay, what are you on that stops me? Harsh winds. If it was Vile, you would have pinged the 4-1 already. So it could be a whale, but if you whale, it has to be whale plus flash freeze, or the Scion's going to kill you.
There's no whale plus flash.
Yep. So Ian, I think, just going to keep developing. Yeah.
How mad are you when you develop the Fallen Rider and they Runation?
Like 17 units of mad.
I think you
like,
played the rider.
Yeah, you held it for that long.
God damn it! It's like the last card in their hand, the one that like they've had the whole game too. And you're like, what?
The most tilting thing.
For this reason, I think you do develop the rider.
I like playing the 3-1. Yeah. If you're, I don't think you beat whale plus flash freeze anyway, which is why I really would have liked.
Ruination showing up one turn late to the party.
That's fine.
Could get some value out of that if needed for future turns, but Anivia is really going to clean up this board right here.
There's a second whale in hand, right?
Yeah, there is another whale as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say the survival skills like looks really good, or it did. The one Ian was hovering for a second, because it keeps Anivia from killing everything. But if it just puts it all to 1, it just sets it up for a whale. Obviously, Ian doesn't know there's a whale, but yeah.
What a
One
close
card we
game this shaped
haven't
out to
seen?
be.
Yeah, this has been a very interesting one. One card we haven't seen is Ravine, right?
No,
I feel like
not
that
the
card
whole
would
game.
be quite good here. You can do some tricksy stuff like killing Scion on the start of your opponent's turn so that the rally gets wasted. Things like that.
I feel like the issue here was that Ian, just his hand was a little too heavy from the start.
It's clunky.
He had
Yeah,
that
I
survival
agree.
skills, he had that Scion, and so this 5 HP might have been 0 or less had we been able to get in some earlier chip damage. But now we see the Whale coming down, gonna clean the board up, panicked Ezreal coming in, very sweaty play here from Buzz's side, gonna heal back up to 8.
I guess, yeah, cash in the Whale now so you have Ruination next turn in case it gets scary. Ooh.
Scion top
boy.
deck.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Scion top deck, and we've got Vengeance and Ruination and no freeze, no heal. You've got to rip it here as Ian.
Do you play the Rider first, though? I think he's just considering his ordering. Yeah, I like Rider first. Here's the boy.
Boom! And that's gotta spell doom for Buzz. How can you
New
stop
challenger
this?
units. Pretty tough.
Avalanche into a Vengeance. Just
Does he have another
roll-
heroine? Oh, that might do it.
Wait, huh?
That keeps him alive.
It does. Right?
Yeah.
It's you block for 4 and then you block for 5.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
You're
blocking
both
9
enemies.
on 20 attack. Is that right? No, because it doesn't die. So you don't. Yeah, you don't.
The
they won't
rally
take
doesn't
attack.
come in.
Noxian Fervor or something would absolutely spell
Yep.
disaster
Yep.
for Buzz. But at this point, there's no playing around it. You're just like, if they have it, they have it.
Well done from Buzz. That was looking pretty scary. That was
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
line to take. Double Anivia's on the board, can clean up Scion, and then you can use that Vengeance. No burn currently available to Ian. I mean, he stayed in this game longer than I thought he would and got Buzz way down to 2. But Buzz also has been playing very well at this point. After a naked Rekindler play that felt pretty bad, has been able to claw his way back into a dominant position.
Yeah, this has been swinging turn by turn. It's
Honestly,
been really exciting.
sound just over the moon, Majin.
Yeah, I have been told that I can do that sometimes. Where I'm just like,
poking fun.
yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm having so much fun.
This game is
It
so
is really
entertaining.
Yeah.
But it's when you're just sitting there watching someone like consider their Anivia blocks for like 30 seconds. It's hard to be like, what a game!
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm riveted.
It's funny casting Runeterra too, like versus I'd imagine something like a Call of Duty or even like a League of Legends where it's just like everything is very explosive. Like we're watching chess games. People, oh, the pawn took the knight.
Yep. The most exciting thing was the draw, and that happened 30 seconds ago, and they're still just thinking through all the plays. Like,
yeah. At the same time, we do get so hyped over these cards. So this is cool to see here. We're in the finals, and Buzz is looking
gets
to
see
wrap
the
it up.
Vengeance here, that's pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that avalanche is tough to see because it's one of those spots where you're like, dang man, should I have played around the avalanche or should I have played around the vengeance? Like, what's the correct answer there? And then you see
These
that they have the
lost
avalanche.
Are so much better than I thought they would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because once they're in your hand, they're always
away.
in your hand. Like
Mhm.
it's so nice, and I like the effect of just like being able to constantly cycle itself. I mean, there's cards we've seen like that with Concussive Palm or something, but it's much harder to actually pull that off.
Yeah.
So I think they nailed the flavor of this card. I think the balance of it is quite balanced. Like it doesn't seem broken. I've had to play it for 8 mana before. But yeah, it just adds a really nice edge to this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Going for the vengeance, I really like this here. Keeping the Anivia alive. Vengeance isn't going to be doing much
It's
else.
not going to be
as
good.
we
Yeah.
know.
The only thing that like really matters is the 5/5 Overwhelm and Scion, and you can't really Vengeance Scion.
That is a fervor top deck. Do we have healing on the side of
I
Buzzwole?
can't see. Is there any healing?
Yeah.
There's
Is
no
there-
healing. There's a vial. I mean, that's not going to be able to do it, but
Not enough.
there is a vengeance. So if this is
they have
committed
vengeance?
and then the vengeance to stop it.
Wow.
It's gonna be
Brutal.
slow roll this there for sure.
Well, yeah. Any discard too, and you can. Oh no, vengeance doesn't get past survivals. That gets me every single time. I have to now actually remember how that card works since I'm gonna be seeing it in play.
Actually,
That was
okay,
a
wait.
crazy
What a
game.
game.
There could have been a play around there for Ian had he just waited one turn. I mean, it would have given more heal options, but you could have looked for a discard target to then hit survival skills.
I do love me some Zoe Lee. I can't see the Zoe Lee's hand though, so that's interesting. But
Yeah, we've
You can just
got-
assume there's 6 Eye of the Dragons in there.
yeah, at least.
Currently no eye available. We've got Pod, Feyfolk, Double Palm, Sonic, and Twin. So a little bit of healing, but no Eye of the Dragon
Yeah.
yet. Tasty Feyfolk.
The sweaty
coming
Ezreal
down.
from Ian. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Do you have it? You brought 6 copies. I know you did.
Majin, I've been arguing for a while for eye changes. The card is ridiculously overtuned. I don't know how anyone could defend it ever in any universe, but why do you think it's balanced?
Well, you think
That
it's
was
balanced
clearly
or
a
shit?
setup. I do. I think it's very
I like
strong.
this.
I think it's one of the strongest followers in the game.
But
But-
balanced?
There's a huge cost to putting Eye in your deck. Like, if you look at Zoe Lee, it's Zoe Lee, Eye, and the entire deck is spells. The entire deck.
That
And you-
also
like,
works with
you
Lee
can't run anything
Sin
else.
and Karma.
Yeah, it does. It does. And that's like the synergy of the deck. You know, it's not busted or anything. It's very, very good. And when it gets going, it does feel very impressive.
It's
but,
1 mana effective. I don't know.
That's a take.
We don't have to fight.
Yeah,
We don't have to
and like
get...
outside of like literally just Zoe Lee or like Zoe Karma, Eye of the Dragon is like bad. You played it in
That's
as Karma, it's like
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That's-
you
that
activate
should
it
be
like
that deck.
2 or 3 times a game, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think it facilitates a style of play that I very much enjoy, and without it, I would not be able to play that play style, and that would suck if it was.
Yeah.
What if we just take away a tune? Can we agree? I think that's a nice middle ground.
If you compensation buff something else in the strategy or like the archetype, then yeah, I'd be okay with that. But I really like Attune in general, so I'd rather you didn't.
All right.
I think we should add a burst speed overwhelm card to Targon or Ionia.
To Targon.
Nox. All right, that's enough of that. This one.
That's how we balance that out. That was good to hear that take though, because I hear a lot of hate on either dragon, and I haven't heard the defense to keep it the way it is. So that's interesting. We should there.
That's my defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big Eye fan. This is a Hush if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, there is a Hush available. You got Palm as
pretty
well that we
hushable.
could use.
I mean, the Hush, good ordering here from Ian actually, because you want to block Sump, but if you do, you're giving up like 3 life or whatever.
I wonder if we ever see a Fervor onto the Feyfolk. I mean, it only stops 1 effective healing, but it is scary to go for with all of the protection spells
Yeah, I
available
was
to
gonna
Buzz.
say, Walking into like Twin feels so bad. We did already see, I believe, 1 Twin played. I wasn't
Yep.
paying attention.
Yeah,
I was too busy defending Eye of the Dragon.
Yeah, I put you on the chopping block
Yeah.
in the death chair. We have a second pod being picked up, but Zoe is the only champion that is seen right now on Buzz's side, and Ian's board just continues to get a little wider.
No Eye.
All right.
Is there a Zenith in Buzz's hand?
There is also not a Zenith. Double Pod, Concussive, Sonic, and a Hush. So heavy
You
on the
can,
spells, and Pod can come into play next turn
Yeah.
to tutor what we want.
Like Zenith.
Like Zenith, yeah.
Which I think we actually do want. I think that's probably the best pickup. You could slam it on Feyfolk or Zoe, depending on what the rest of your hand looks like. Like if you have a bunch of pump spells, Feyfolk might be the way to go. Otherwise, Zoe is so good in this deck because not only is Zoe like just a really good value card, but she continuously gives you spells, which the deck really, really needs. It wants ways to activate its Nightfall on Pale Cascade. It wants to keep its Eye of the Dragon going. It wants to cast 2 spells, so its deep meds are cheaper. And if Zoe's like stonewalled, it can be tough. You run out of gas.
Yeah, Zoe not even going for the swing there because of those Poros, and we are 6 wide from Ian's side, so gonna go in for the swing here. Huh.
Really felt like Poro's cannon stock went up.
Yeah, there's so many elusive lists running around right now that are really strong, and Poro Cannon, really nice. Elusives are not known for having massive health, unless, of course, you're running them in those Nami Shelly decks, but typically Poro Cannon, really cheap, effective way to shut down those elusive game plans.
I played against Ian a lot, and he's very good at what he's doing right now, which is like ordering attacks to make your life gain units really bad. Like he's very good at it, which I feel like is something that gets overlooked a lot. Like here, there wasn't much you could do, but like earlier with the Sump and then the Draven, like you're denying a lot of life. That's like 3 points of life. Or you force Buzz to cast an extra card to make the ideal block. And when you're playing a deck that has burn finishes, like discard or Draven Ezreal as he likes to play, that comes into play a lot.
So, okay, all right, wait, I'm going to go back to it for just 1 second. I can't let it go. So if we ever found I from this position from Buzz, we pretty much instantly win the game. Which is insane to me. Given this board state, it should not be allowable that a 2-mana card loses Ian this match if it's drawn. Like that, but it just blows my mind.
Just that it's not just the eye. This matchup, I think, is like horrendous. The more I think about it, the worse I think it is for discard. Like you have eye to stop the early game. You're not as fast as previous discard. You don't go wide as well.
Right.
You eventually get there, but yeah, it takes you a while. And so you're not even like threatening eye until like turn 4 when you have like the challenge unit, and that's pretty easy for them to deal with. You have a bunch of ways to deal with Scion, and then you have a combo kill they can't really interact with. Like I think this matchup's just really bad. Eye of the Dragon right now is like, yeah, it's really, really good, and the matchups in the spots it's really, really good. But you have to like play it. You have to play a bunch of spells to make it good, and you have to protect it all the time. Like there's so much Grant vulnerable in this format. It's insane.
Yeah. I think with Shurima, it does get like it's a little more balanced for sure.
It's tough. And then against like the Noxian decks, like you can't ever get damage on your eye or it's gonna die. You know, it's tough. And I think I know people hate playing against it. I know.
Yeah, we don't have to argue. I think your case is strong. I'm just being a little bit of a stickler. All right. Ryan Debs, he didn't defend it. Nerf it.
Wait, by the end of this, we're all gonna want eye buffed. Yeah, we're gonna be like, wait,
wait,
one for
you gotta bring back. I'm being convinced.
I think eye gives a lot of opportunity of skill expression. Because so you have to weigh, like, do I cast my second spell to get my Dragonlings, or do I keep up the mana to like protect my eyes and stuff like that? And the passing with Eye of the Dragons on the field is very intricate. Mo won a match in the seasonal, I think, semis or quarters, because of passing with eyes. It was just really. I think it's cool. All right, what's happening here?
We had a Fervor go onto the Draven, and then a Pod Connect for 7. There is no healing available on Buzz's side, but Ian taking that opportunity to get some damage in. Lee Sin being picked up here on Buzz's side is really massive, but this swing is looking to present perfect lethal. We have double concussive palm to stun some of these units, get Lee Sin on the board, maybe look for an OTK next turn is the best possibility.
I like double palm.
And then this will put Lee up to 7 out of 8. We do have Sonic Wave as an enabler next turn, as well as Bastion. Not sure if there's any ways to stop that from Ian's side. Potentially would have to just... Oh, there is no Overwhelm from Lee.
It's not lethal. Yeah, it's not lethal.
So there is no Zenith.
Double palm is keeping you alive versus burn. Like, you could go to 4, and that's probably the option I would have taken. You basically, like, the thing that's good about double palm, though, is you're not going to kill with Lee Sin next turn, so you have like a very good board, and you use Lee Sin as like a control tool next turn, and then go for the kill later. where it's like super easy because you'll have double elusive pod and Lee and everything. But it makes you weak to Scion because you no longer have the palm protection. On the other side is the one palm lets you possibly even set up lethal because you'll have more mana and stuff like that. But I mean, again, I don't know what's in Buzz's hand. But you're weak to burn spells.
Yeah. Yeah, we see a guiding touch being picked up here. Could heal back up a little bit. 2-6. Ian with the emote game coming in strong. Buzz responding with the Zoe. Wave with the Zoe deck as well. So this board, though, last turn with that double stun, it swung the board a little bit back in Buzz's favor. He was looking quite thin there for a while. Now almost matching Ian unit for unit, so that's gotta feel good.
I want to see a pass from Buzz.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Could clean up 2 units for free with Sonic and second spell. So like pull with Pod and then pull with Lee Sin.
Yeah. This is also fine. Guiding pass.
Win. Yeah, that's good.
I do not want to see an attack.
Why is that?
I just want to prevent something scarier from being played, like possibly an overwhelm unit.
Scion, still a Scion, man.
You could still play Scion and then I just kick it back to your hand, right? And it doesn't kill it. Like you basically block everything. If it wasn't for guiding touch, then you'd probably have to kick something because you don't want to go to 3 and the Poro would have hit you. Like one attacker would get through. But you had guiding touch, so it puts you out of 1 burn spell range. I don't know. These are really tough spots.
He has Will of Ionia as backup if a Scion was played for the swing next turn.
Oh, okay.
I'd still probably just hang out then. I still probably wouldn't kick. I'd just be like, what are you going to do? Play something? Like, this attack is not scary.
Yeah.
You can set up lethal next attack pretty easily because your pods will have elusive. And you'll have Lee, right?
Yeah, it's do
There's
or die.
There's
for
nothing
Ian
wrong
here.
with attacking here. Like it's totally fine to take that kick or whatever. I tend to have a very like passive play style when I play Lee. I just pass a bunch. Just see what happens.
Well, there's the Eye of the Dragon drawn on turn 10. Way too late to this party, although Lee Sin probably going to be able to get it done. If there wasn't a Will in hand, I think there's a Hush in hand as well on... Yeah, there's a Will and a Hush. So this Scion never going to get to connect, although in an alternate universe, maybe we don't have this hand. Scion could get through and close it out, but this deck can deal with Scion fairly well. Just a lot of options to be able to take him down. So Ian going to swing here on the Hope.
Played Eye and just passed. Like played Eye, they attack you, Hush block. Like I'd rather have Will in my hand because you can Will a Fervor target. And like, yeah. What's Hush gonna do?
Definitely a frustrating spot from Ian here because you've seen triple concussive palm and they only run 1 Will, I believe.
And they run 1 Will and they got it. Okay, yeah.
You're like, you're trying to play around or like play to your outs and then they just have the last copy of the exact card they need.
You hit it and they have the only thing that stops you. I mean, to be fair, Hush, right?
Yeah, Hush did too.
But
true.
Also, like any gifts from beyond, just Gravitum's it.
I guess if he hushes, then one of the units is connecting. I'm not sure what the lowest attack unit was.
Well, that's why I like playing Eye and hushing combat.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. I'm just saying, like from Ian's perspective, there, like you're thinking that okay, he might hush here, but then at least I get 3 damage in. Yeah.
Because the lowest unit was a 3/1, so he's like any burn spell, and then you get willed.
Yeah.
Bastion, Kikarino. GG. No Eye attack? What is this? What a throw.
Actually a throw, though.
You lose Fervor. Not lose, but you don't kill him now if he has Fervor. You don't get the kick.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Huh? Not playing around Fervor either time, although I guess the...
Did he have deny?
The Will.
I was just giving him a hard time.
That's insane. Guys, that was it.